Hello, welcome to the session of biology. Today in the session of photosynthesis, first of all we will discuss about the pigments. Pigments plays a very important role. If you talk about the photosynthetic pigments, we can divide photosynthetic pigments into three categories, right? What they are: chlorophyll, carotenoids and phycobilins. So let's discuss one by one the different types of chlorophyll and the general nature of the chlorophyll as well. So talking about the very first the features, the chlorophyll is actually made up of two parts. One what we call magnesium porphyrin head, and second what we call phytol tail. Within the phytol tail there are different long carbon chain. But if you talk about the porphyrin head itself is made up of 4 tetrapyrrole ring, okay, and all those 4 pyrrole ring joined together by 2 coordinate and 2 covalent bonds, and in between them there is a magnesium ion, and thereby making the head portion of the chlorophyll, right? Now its biosynthesis requires light. This is the only pigment in which the biosynthesis is required, because if you talk about carotenoids and phycobilins, light is not required. These are the fat soluble, they are not soluble in water, right? And they absorb light between below 480 nanometer and in between 550 to 700 nanometer. You see, photosynthetic pigments has two peaks, one in the blue region, second in the red region. They don't have any absorptions in between 580 to in between 480 to 550. Why? Because this is the area where the absorption for the green light is there, and plant appears green, so actually it is reflecting back the entire green light. Okay, now let's talk about the types. There are different types of photosynthesis. There are different types of chlorophyll molecules, right? So these are the chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E, even chlorophyll F, and the bacterial chlorophyll. But the most important is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, okay, and chlorophyll A is actually called as a universal pigments. Now if you see the chlorophyll A, in chlorophyll A the methyl group is actually present at carbon number 3 of second pyrrole ring, or in totality if I calculate the carbon, then it is present at the carbon number 7, okay. So that is the molecular formula, that is the C55H72O5N4 and magnesium ion. If we differentiate between chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, then what exactly is the difference? The difference is only in terms of functional group, and that is the aldehyde, okay. Because in chlorophyll B what we see, the aldehyde group is a carbon number 3, or we can say the methyl group that was present in carbon in chlorophyll A is actually being replaced by the aldehyde group, okay. Now the chlorophyll B is again found in all green plants, okay. Then we have a chlorophyll C. Chlorophyll C is mostly found in brown algae, and the very important thing about the chlorophyll C that they don't have a phytol tail, and since they don't have a phytol tail, they are of least molecular weight. This question is often asked in NEET, that which chlorophyll molecule is the least molecular weight. Then we have a chlorophyll D. Now chlorophyll D is actually found in red algae, okay, and if you talk about chlorophyll E, in case of chlorophyll E, this is found in yellow algae, what we call Vaucheria. Chlorophyll F, this is found in blue-green algae, right? And finally, there is a bacterial chlorophyll. So these chlorophyll are those chlorophyll that are found in bacteria. Mind it, these bacteria are anoxygenic. That means in their photosynthesis, oxygen is actually not being released. So this is the entire account of the photosynthesis pigment, that is chlorophyll. Now let's talk about the another pigment, and that is carotenoids. Now what is carotenoids? Again, it is a fat soluble, right? And they absorb light between 460 nanometer to 550 nanometer, okay. Most important work of carotenoid is to prevent photooxidation. So what happens whenever the chlorophyll is going to absorb light? So some electron is expelled it beyond the triplet condition, right? And that is going to generate excessive heat. So those heat has a capacity to oxidize the chlorophyll molecule or the photosynthetic molecules. So that is actually being permitted by the carotene. That is one of the most important role what the carotene does. If you talk about the types, then we have it can be divided into two, what we call carotene and xanthophyll. And the carotene is nothing but it is C40H56, and the three most important is what we call alpha, beta and gamma, out of which beta is the most common carotene. Okay. If you talk about xanthophyll, xanthophyll is just oxygen derivative of the carotene. That means C40H56O2. That is only the xanthophyll. Okay. So the common forms are lutein, zeaxanthin and fucoxanthin. These are the common carotenoids. Now let's talk about the third and the last pigment, what we call phycobilins. Now what are the important features of phycobilins? Again, these are the water soluble. Unlike the previous two, this is the water soluble. And they contains copper. That is again very important. If you talk about the type, the three types has been recognized, what we call phycocyanin, phycoerythrin and allophycocyanin. If you talk about phycocyanin, again there are two varieties, what we call R-phycocyanin and C-phycocyanin, right? So blue-green algae has a R-phycoerythrin and red algae as a C-phycoerythrin. But if you talk about the phycocyanin, in case of phycocyanin, the relation is just reverse. What I mean to say, that in case of blue-green algae, we have a C-phycocyanin and R-phycoerythrin. But in case of red algae, just reverse. Now, the last one, what we call allophycocyanin, these allophycocyanin are found in the blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. So, this is all about the photosynthetic pigments, right? The most important thing what you need to understand about the photosynthetic pigment is that they help in trapping the solar light, and that solar energy is actually being utilized for the process of photosynthesis. Another important thing which definitely I would like to add over here, and that is that the photosynthetic or chlorophyll extract, right? So this is mostly asked in competitive examination, is prepared in chemical what we call acetone. So please remember this. So acetone is a chemical where chlorophyll extract is prepared. That's all. Thank you.